this is what Microsoft AZ 104 syllabus. And let's start from this identity and governance. We haven't covered at all. This is a complete pending topic. Next topic we are studying this one only. Oh, no, before that we'll have to cover up the backups. So this will be next second topic, which we covering that identity and governance. In the identity, we will going to cover about Active Directory and RBACs, right? Subscription, how subscription policy works. So those things we will going to cover in second next lecture, second next topics. Now the storage, implementation and managing storage. We have covered almost all topics in the storage. So we know that how to configure network access to storage account, right? That VNet integrations. We know that how to create and configure storage account, SAS key generation, the manage key, how to reset the manage key. We know that part. AD authentication for the storage. We also saw that with help of a logging from the tool, and we have authenticated with the AD Active Directory. Right. Configure the access file share. This is what also we have done. We have mounted SMB protocol. All right. We have managing a job, manage storage jobs like export the jobs, import the jobs. So this is what I have. I think it's a pending. Uh, Installing the storage account explorer we have done. AZ copy. This is just a tool command, couple of command which we know that how to go. We just need to know that how to use that AZ copy command. There's a couple of commands only, right? And so far implementing storage replication, yes, replication LRS, JRS, we have seen that. Configuring the object replications, this is also we saw that. All right. Then we have seen that create a file share, configure a file sync, storage account tier, premium, standard, blob cycle, that after 30 days it should become from standard hot tier to cool tier to archive tier. This is also we saw that, right? Any questions on the storage part? Any questions, guys? Perfect, perfect. No questions, right? So you guys, you require to revise it again. I'm telling you. Then deploying the compute resources. So in the compute resources, we are good with resource managers, VHD, right? Templates. Also, we have saw that this is part is pending for you. So I'll be covering your part, right? And creating virtual machines, encryptions, virtual machine data disk, networking, deploying virtual machine high availability, right? Virtual machine scale set. This is also we saw that. AKS part is pending. And for this AKS part, I can run the AKS part, but I believe that you should have a knowledge of Dockers and Kubernetes. So not necessarily, that's okay. I'll just cover it quickly now, the basic configurations, how you can do the AKS deployment, how is container instance works. Those things I'll be covering that. App service also pending. I'll just cover the app service in future. All right. In the networking, which we right now doing, what we have covered so far, we have covered that creating a VNet and including the peering, right? The public IP address, private IP address we have covered. UDRs we also covered. Subnets, endpoints configuration or subnet configuration. This is what one done. Private endpoint. This is also we have done, right? Azure DNS, custom DNS setting, public private DNS. This is also we have done. All right. Apart from that, security rule. This is NSG. We have created NSG. We have done the NSG part, attaching to subnet, VNet, network card. This is also we have done. We have evaluated the effective security rule. This is also we saw that. Firewall implementation, this is not done, and Bashan is pending. This is what I am today covering, that firewall and that Bashan. It is just I'm not going to deep dive on the firewall because there's a lot of things in the firewall, and so I'll not covering all the profiles, but I'll just covering the basic one, right? Because as per the examination, it's just implementation is required, and not a deep dive on the firewall. Uh, if you want to do the deep dive firewall, that will come in the security part. Security part, AZ 500 exam will cover the firewall in details. Then we'll deploy today Bashan service, right? Application gateway. When we are talking about app service, then that time we're going to talk about the application gateway. Then we have done the load balancer, right? Troubleshooting the load balancer. Troubleshooting, what exactly we have already understood the word doesn't require troubleshooting, right? Then I think pretty good. Those things will come in the monitoring section. VPN services we have done, right? Monitoring is completely pending. So two topics is completely pending: monitoring and backups and recovery. This is a complete topic. Monitor and backup is completely pending, and identity. This two topics is completely pending. And some of partial topics, which is in the storage account, some of in the networking app services, compute services, will covering one by one. Any questions, guys, here in the syllabus? Where is that? Any question, guys? Hmm. Sorry, when? It's up to you guys. I was used to take early 2 hours, but you guys requested me to take it on 1 hour. So that's why I have reduced the time. So let's say that in earlier days we are expecting to get course should we get it done in the 1 month or 45 days. But you guys requested me to make it shorter time, so the amount of duration will be double. I'm okay to take a topic, longer topic, but it's up to you guys. You can take 2 hours, so we can start again the 2 hour sessions rather than 3:30 to 4:30. We can start from 3 to 5. That's what. So then the duration will be get increased. For now, let's say that today is our 11th. I'm targeting to get it covered by 30th of November. Until unless there is a vacation or someone take a leaves. So that the target is like, see what we have covered so far. We have covered compute, which is almost complete topic. Then we have covered storage. Then we have covered networking. This is the major topics. I generally say that those are the major topics. All right. Based on that, those topics, compute, storage, and networking, we have minor topics. Right. What are those minor topics like backup? So if we understand the compute, we can understand the backup. Then that will be monitor. Right. Then if we understand the resources, then we can understand the monitor. So those backups and let me to put it down. Backup will take 1 day, right? Then there is a DR topic. That's again take a 1 day, right? Then monitoring will take a 1 day. The pending topics which I'm listing now right now, approximately 1 day. It's like 1 hour or might be 2 hours. We'll say that. All right. So it could be a DR could be 1 day or yeah, one DR will be 1 day to 2 day. That's okay. Then the identity Active Directory that will take a 2 days, right? Then what is pending? App service plus Kubernetes. That is 1 day. Because there is nothing much to talk about here in details because you should guys have to explore yourself if you want to learn the Kubernetes. You should understand the Dockers, how Docker works, how the Kubernetes works. And Azure is just providing a platform to the Kubernetes. So we are going to explore about Kubernetes platform, not a Kubernetes service, not a Kubernetes Dockers, right? So app service, I'll go in details. This is what I'm going to details, right? What else is pending? What else is pending? Oh, okay. So so those are the topics which supposed to be get it done in 1 day, 2 days. So 1 day is I just considering the 2 hours. So let's consider two classes. We can consider this is might be two classes. One day will be concept. I'll get clear, and another day I'll just demonstrate. Then monitoring also the 2 days. Let's say that. And app service AD is pretty 3 days, and this is 1 day itself. And other small topics. So let's say that we keep it 2 days. So 2 to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 days is approximately I'm targeting. So today is 11 to 21 should be our as per the plan. But I know that there will be a break. So that Saturday, Sunday will be a break. So we can extend the dates. So it will become 26 and 4 days will be that if any other topics we want to get covered. Karan, you are and Kiran's and Mahesh, the topic for the compute, I'll cover it from the scratch. This is from the my, right. So I'll just cover it from the scratch. Don't worry. Uh, I'm Mahesh was not well, I think. Yeah, Mahesh. So that's okay. You guys also can attend that. That's not a problem for me. But yeah, it will be revised for you. So thing is that so we can consider 2 days here or 2 or 3 days here for the compute. So that's what I'm considering that we can target ourselves for the 30th of November to get cover. All right. But guys, start doing the practice. Again, I'm saying multiple times. If you don't do the practice, there's no use of attending classes. You just attend, understand the concept and go home. So you will forget the topics. I have given you the complete scenarios, lab scenario task. So let's say that we wanted to have mount the Azure EFS file system on Linux and Windows. What exactly EFS file system is? Then you have to search that what is Elastic file system, EFS file system, terms, and if you don't get it, ask me that what is exactly. Then might be that you need to configure a load balancer, right? Configure load balancer, Windows Server itself, and working as a show is working. NATing gateway, you have to provide a NATing gateway, right? You have to deploy a virtual machine in 99 SLA, 95 SLA, who is providing 99 SLA, who is providing 95 SLA, you have to study that. We have already covered those topics, but I've just twisted the line, which is interviewer can ask or might be in the project you will have the same kind of scenarios. It is not explanatory, you have to do a little bit research and then you come to know that, okay, this is what I already know, all right? So start doing the practice. And apart from that, this is good practice. Then there's another file which I have already shared. This is also that kind of a practice you can do that. Any problem you're getting, status completed, right? On a letter ahead, I have given documents which is explanatory that okay how we can create those things. So I have attached the Microsoft documents, and here is Knowledge Center. You can find out a lot of things are related to videos and the topics. All right, guys. So believe me, yes, please. Yes, I can help you out. Like, I can create your resume. That's not a problem. It's that's not an issue. Yep, yeah, I'll help you out. One of a project which is upcoming topic which I'm going to explain that how it's work. Right. This is what I'm going to so basically I'm explaining the entire project to you guys. But thing is that if you don't understand the concept or don't revise a concept, I'm explaining the topics, explaining a project, you will feel that okay, what I'm talking about. I'm talking about an alien language. No, this is all we already have done. So you have to revise, you have to do the practice. Make sense, guys? All right. So let's start. What was the minimum pending topic which I need to cover it for the networking section? All right. So we have done load balancer completely last time. Now, NSG load balancer troubleshooting part, I'll just cover up the monitoring and troubleshooting in the monitoring section. But still, I want to show you a couple of resources. How to check the on-premises monitoring. Can anyone tell me that how to check the on-premises connectivity? How do we going to check that? What are the things you will consider? So if you recall what we have covered VPN. What exactly on-premises connectivity means? The line which we are talking here. What is exactly means? No, no, no. It's a connectivity on-premises. So you are right now on Azure. Exactly. Right, exactly. So you are connecting to on-prem. So that is nothing but your VPN connectivity. So how many VPN connectivity type you can have it? One is that for on-premises, you can have site-to-site VPN, and another is your express route. So you want to check it connectivity. How to monitor and check the connectivity? First thing is that your ping test, right? If you're able to ping that your resources on-premises to Azure, Azure to on-premises, that's mean connectivity is working, and that should be on private network, private IP. Another is you can take a SSH or remote desktop, right? And apart from that, there is you have a connection. If you guys remember that connection service, why we use a connection service? Either is express route or site-to-site VPN. We have connection via connection service, right? So in the express route, we merging the circuit with with our gateway. That is a connection we use here. Local gateway plus Azure VPN gateway, we are merging. That is use the connection there in the site-to-site VPN. In the site-to-site VPN, if you observe that there will be a what was that? A bandwidth data. So there you can find out your traffic is flowing or not. Alright, I think it's not there. Okay, okay. Yep, I was about to mute. Alright, guys. So the thing is that there will be a connection service. If you saw or remember, there is a data in, data out was there mentioned. Come on. Why it's not? Yep, here I can find out, I think. So when you connect it, you generally see that there was a data in, data out. After connect, here generally you see that data in, data out. And there is also a metric will be available that will help you out to find out how much data you're sending, right? If it is data is if data connectivity is there, so that's mean data is working fine. Another is which I saw, I told you that you can take a ping test, right? Those things will help you out to understand the connectivity. All right. What is network voucher and configuring network Azure monitor for the network? That will cover in the monitoring section, this topic. But what is the Azure network voucher? So this is nothing but a small tool. Okay. So this will be a small tool on virtual machine that will help you to troubleshoot your network connectivity. So we have deployed virtual machine. Okay, I have deleted virtual machine. So let me deploy virtual machine here. Quickly deploy virtual machine. Now when deploying virtual machine, you see that, come on, that's fine for me. I'm just deploying one virtual machine. So meanwhile, it get deployed. Also deploy one service called Azure Bastion. Quickly I deploy it so I can show you the Bastion service. I'm quickly deploying one Bastion service. Bastion service deployment is pretty easy. You don't need to do anything. You just need to choose the right subscription for right resource group for the billing and your Bastion name. So I'll just say that Bastion. I'll explain you what is Bastion. Let me deploy first. Right, I'll say that my Bastion and deploying in ECS2. The basic tier, I'm just going for the basic tier. Which VNet I want to keep it, I'll say that, okay, this is not deployed so far. I'll just go for the East US region. Let's see that any VNet is there. Yes, I have one VNet which I just not deployed. That this Bastion VNet required one subnet, at least one dedicated subnet. So I'll just creating a new subnet for that in this address space. So what could be name for the Bastion subnet? So it could be Azure Bastion subnet, single word. I'll create a one subnet, Azure A capital Bastion subnet. I'll keep it 27 or I'll keep it 24, doesn't matter. Alright, I'll come back to here, choose a Bastion subnet, right? So what I'm doing right now, deploying a Bastion. It will take time to deploy, that's why I'm quickly deploying right now. So Bastion, I'll just providing a name of my Bastion. Region, which region I want to keep it is Bastion, for which network. Then I will defining a network, I'll defining a subnet, it's required dedicated subnet. That naming convention should be look like this only, Azure Bastion subnet. And it should be have minimum /27, but I have taken /24, it's more size. Now, my Bastion is required one public IP, that's it. There's nothing much complicated here. Then I'll come to that point. Let it deploy. Right? So this is a Bastion. Now coming to virtual machine. Now what we want to look for that Azure Monitor and Azure Network Voucher. What are those things is that? Let's say that I am right now my IP is what is my IP? I want to find out is this my IP is reachable to virtual machine or my virtual machine is reachable to this IP? How do I check it without logging to inside a virtual machine? So there is a couple of tools you can find out in virtual machine, any virtual machine and down. There is called network connection monitor, no, connection monitor. This is a classic one. There is one more called connection troubleshoot. So those tools we are going to use it. Let me show you first connection troubleshoot. When you click on connection troubleshoot, it's asked me the details, whether you want to send a data or you want to receive data. I'll say that I want to receive a data. From where? So I'll say that want to receive from IP. This is my IP, right? You can find out, you can see that my IP 1.86.1.1. This is same IP I have. Microsoft automatically detected my IP and say that my IP, and I want to check it on port 22 and TCP protocol, I'll just keep it any protocol and test connections. So what do you think? It will get success? So it's checking whether my connection, inbound connection is allowed from my IP, laptop IP to my virtual machine on port 22, and it is checking right now. All right. And for checking, it's deploying one extension called network voucher extension. So it says that error occur. It is not reachable, which means, let me check it again. Why? So let's see that if you go here, that network voucher, so there is will be one extension will get applied on your virtual machine. Hope you guys remembered what is extension, guys. So in the virtual machine, you'll see that one extension. Okay, why it's not applied? It's not applied. Let me check it again. Or I can simply apply the extension. Network voucher agent for Windows. Let me apply this. So if you see that this, what is the type of this? It will type of extension, virtual machine extension. And what will be a name? Azure Network Voucher extension. Bashan deployment completed. We'll see that Bashan. First, we understand the concept of Bashan. What is a Bashan? Then we'll see that how it's work. All right, let it apply the extension. Another thing which you can check it out, which is called, I call it is monitor, connection monitor, which is the classic. Now after few days it will be get removed. So it is between two connections. Let's say that I want to create a new classic, or let they already discontinue. So there is no use of learning of that part. So if you already have, you can use it, but they already have discontinued. You cannot add a new connection. So what exactly it's used to do that your machine want to reach any other virtual machine, right? Or any other website. I want to reach out to my website, let's say that google.com. Google is also reachable or not reachable. I can create a rule which says that okay, Google is reachable or not reachable. If it's not reachable, it will send the alerts. So that was happening here, but it they have discontinued from here. So they should provide something alternative. Uh, Nothing is there. All right, let's see that extension has been deployed. Right. Now I want to check whether my IP is reachable or not. I'll just click on connectivity check. Again deploy network watcher. Why it's deploying network watcher again? It's already done. So here we can find out network watcher extension. This is we already okay. There is some problem with virtual machine. Yep. An extension has been applied. Now let me go and troubleshoot the connection again. I'm trying again this. I know that this will get failed because this is my Windows machine and it's should not suppose a 22. So it should get failed, but it should come here that its connection is unreachable. And strange thing is that I can see that it's keep deploying and saying the error. Alright, what I'll do that I'll create a new virtual machine in India. Something. Okay, I'm trying again. Alright, let it deploy virtual machine, then we'll quickly jump to the topic called passion. So how do you take a virtual machine access, guys? How do you take a virtual machine access? You have virtual machine. How do you take access? Yes, you do the RTP. If you Windows, you take a RDP. Perfect. If it's it's a Linux, then you do the SSH. But for RDP and taking SSH, what you required? You required IP, right? IP can be private IP, IP can be public IP. Public IP, or it can be private IP, right? If you're coming from, sorry, Sharon, I'll just muting yourself. Right. If you're coming from internet, or yep, it's you coming from internet, then you use a public IP. If you're coming from the VPN or same network, right, then you will use a private IP. So here you get a console. You get a console, remote desktop console, you get it, right? What if I say that I don't want to give a IP, I don't want to expose my IP, I don't want to let you know that IP, what is IP I'm using. Since you are my temporary user, I don't want to tell you the IP, but still I want to give access of this virtual machine. Will it be possible? No, not at all, because IP is one of the essential thing to take a remote virtual machine. Another way is that if you want to still wanted to have a give access, another the way is I'll be using Azure one service called Bastion service. What Bastion service do that? Bastion deploy one Bastion service here, right? Bastion service here, and from the Azure portal, you click on Bastion service, right? And that Bastion service will be connect machine, this machine will be connect this machine either RDP or SSH. Who is connecting? You are not connecting. The Bastion is connecting to your machine, right? And how do you connect to Bastion from the portal? You are connecting through the HTTP protocol, HTTPS protocol. So basically, you are using a browser. Basically, you're using a browser. In the browser, you're connected. You're opening your virtual machine within a browser, and you're using HTTP protocol. When you're using HTTP protocol, you doesn't require any IP. You are just going to bash through the Bastion. You're creating a tunnel through the Bastion, so it's become secured. Your IP not getting exposed. You just going through the HTTPS secured connectivity, right? So let me show you that one. How do you take a Bastion? I'll go to Bastion service, click on my Bastion, right? Here I can see that there is a Bastion is deployed. I can see that session is there, right? So nobody's session is there, configuration is there, but I cannot see that how to take a access. I cannot see. But if I go to virtual machine, the VM1 which I have deployed, I'll click on connect. There is one more option, is called Bastion. If I click the Bastion, it will look if is there any Bastion is available on my same VNet. This same network I have a Bastion. Yes, I have deployed same virtual machine in a Bastion. Same network in the Bastion. I'll say that okay, connect using the Bastion. It will search the Bastion service and find the my Bastion. Can you see that? My Bastion. He find the my Bastion. It is successfully available. And I say that open a new window. I'm not providing any IP. Guys, look here. I'm just providing user and password. And when I click, I'm not using any RDP tool. There's no RDP tool. There's no SSH putty tool. I'm right now in Azure portal itself and click on connect. So what it will do that it will open a new tab next to my this one, right? And it will ask me the okay, I'll just copy. It is opening a complete console, logging my console within a browser. There is no public IPs getting exposed. The machine which I'm right now accessing in the browser. And this URL is something randomly generated by the Bastion. It is randomly generated. It is having secure details, which is always get changed. It's pretty difficult to find out. And here I can see that my virtual machine is running. In the browser itself, I can do whatever I want to do. Make sense, guys? I'm not taking RDP. Same way for the SSH. Got it, guys? What is the Bastion? How Bastion works? It is working on HTTP. I am connecting from the portal to my console. I can simply say the console of my remote virtual machine over the HTTP protocol. This is over the HTTP protocol. You can see that. Rather than SSH or RDP, I'm connecting. And this Bastion, which I'm connected, the bastion.azure.com, is in the backend is connected to that virtual machine. And I don't know what is virtual machine. I know that virtual machine name VM1, but here it doesn't shows that what is virtual machine name, right? And I connect it. If I go here, type it, cmd, open the portal and type it's here that host name, what is my machine name? You will find out VM1. This is a VM1. So this is a pretty secured way to connect your connectivity. But the only problem is that it's newly introduced, hardly 1 year back, so it's pretty slow compared to it. But it's good to secure that if someone wants to give access, but you don't want to expose the per IP. I know that he can find out IP from here itself, IP config. He can find out IP here itself, private IP, but he doesn't know the public IP. Or even if your virtual machine don't have a public IP, still you can take from the remote connection without having private IP, without touching the private IP, without touching public IP. Make sense, guys? Any question on the Bastion? Any questions, guys? No question, Ravindra, Shravan, Kiran. Perfect. So you got a Bastion. Now, what else I can do the Bastion? This is virtual machine. This is which network is this I have? I have my Flipkart 153 network, right? And if I go here in the network, I have my Bastion subnet, right? This is a Bastion subnet. And in this Bastion subnet, I have deployed one Bastion service, which is attached to my VNet and subnet 153, Flipkart VNet 153. So there is another virtual machine, another region. This is ECS2. I have deployed one more machine in West. And let's say that it doesn't have a public IP. I know that's a public IP. We can remove public IP. Let's remove it. So better clarity. How do you remove the public IP? I'll go to public IP, NIC card, and deassociate. Simple. Is it my internet slow today or Azure is slow? No, it's pretty good. Alright. So I have removed the public IP. Hopefully it should be get removed now. Yep. Now I want to take a access. How I can take a access? There is no public IP on this virtual machine. Only private IP is there. I want to take access. I don't have VPN connectivity. I don't have VPN. I'm not connected to any VPN service. If you see that there is no VPN is connected. It is not connected. I can simply remove this hub also if you have a doubt. I'll just remove it. Right? There's no VPN connectivity. But still I want to take access. How do I take access? I'll just click on Bastion. Now problem is here. I this VNet is in ECS2. And if I want to have a new Bastion service, do I require to create a new Bastion again for this virtual machine which I have deployed in Asia, South Asia, right? Do I have to create it again, Bastion, if I want to connect this South Asia machine? No, not required. What you need to do, you have to just do the peering and use the same bastion to connect this one. If right now when we are trying to click on bastion, it says that bastion is not available, so you need to deploy one bastion service. So you have to deploy the one bastion service. What should be bastion service? Create a bastion. Why should I pay bastion extra? I already have deployed bastion. So I can simply do that. This network, I have these two networks, this network and this network. I will make it connect each other. I'll do the peering. VNet to VNet, VNet 1 to whatever name you prefer, you can give it to the. Right now, I want to have this VNet 153 should connect to my 551. Add it. That's it. The pairing has been done. Now, one way, what I can do that simply I have taken a bastion already here. So I'll go and find out public IP of this machine. There's no public IP. Then I'll look for the private IP. This is my private IP. I'll go here, go to this console, take a remote desktop, MSTSC, right? In this, I'm using a remote desktop service and provide a IP. So definitely it's a paired network. It should respond to my connection. So I got a respond, right? This is kind of a jump server which we already have talked about. So this is kind of a jump server we are using. So this is my virtual network. In the virtual network, I have another bash RDP, right? So that's how I connected, right? Let me close this all the stuff. Alright, this is another virtual machine, and this is I connected with the bash, and this is kind of I have taken with RDP. Now I have done peering, so why should I use a machine inside machine? I can simply go to this machine, click on Bastion. When last time we connected, it's asked us to deploy the Bastion. So this time let's see that what is will it be able to pull it from the paired network? Yes, it is can pull from the paired network. It is right now pulling from the paired network. My network is different, but it's pulling from the paired network. I'll give a Bastion service details, username and password. Now this was a VM1. Now I'm taking a VM2 for the Bastion. Make sense, guys? Any questions on the Bastion? Oh, is it heavy rain over there in the? Oh, no, intermediator. It's not a virtual machine. So I'll show you a diagram how the Azure Bastion looks like from the Azure perspective. So it is like a service. This is architecture of a Bastion. So you have multiple virtual machine deployed on your subnet, and in the subnet you have one VNet. There you're deploying a Bastion service, right? Here you are connecting over the SSL HTTP protocol from the portal. From the portal, it's taking RDP. So this is pretty clear diagram. This is your virtual machine, and it is a bastion service. It's not a virtual machine. It's a bastion service that you take it over the HTTPS Internet Protocol. From here, it's connecting RDP and SSH on your private IPs. What is the key benefit? You don't need to expose your public IP. No need to public IP required on the virtual machine. No need to do that. Any changes on it improves the security. Simply, I can simply say that. Protection against the zero-day exploit and hardening place. Okay. Uh, one. Okay. One should be there in so then you should be have appearing. Yes. Perfect, Sharon. Yes, this is what. So we need to have a pairing if you don't want to deploy multiple Bastion. Bastion is pretty expensive, guys. I just show you that. Immediately I'm going to deploy, delete that. Sure. Bastion pricing. I don't know Microsoft have reduced the pricing or not, but earlier it was very much expensive. So it is costing me, let me go on INR. It is costing me per hour 14 rupees. This is pretty expensive. Double than virtual machine. And if I go for the standard version, it will cost me 24, 20, 21 rupees per hour, right? And if I am transferring data from one region to another region, for the first 5 GB per month, it's free. But if more than 5 GB, definitely I'm using more than 5 GB, so it will costing me per GB cost. So it is pretty expensive if you keep running it. That let's say that I'll just run for the 2 days. So it will eat up my 15 rupees into 24 hours, 300 rupees. And if I keep running for the 30 days, so it will eat up my 10,000 rupees, right? So Bastion service is expensive. And let's say that if I have multiple networks, I deploy the multiple networks, 3 virtual networks. So I'll be paying 4 virtual networks. I'll paying that 43,000 for the each Bastion. But if you all are paired, so you are simply paying the 10,000 rupees because you already have paired network. You don't need to pay extra. Make sense, guys? Is it clear? All right. Now we have seen the Bastion network voucher. Let me see that I can show it right away or not. Let me apply that connection network voucher. Troubleshoot connection. I'll just check it. Inbound connection. This is VM2. VM1 was giving us problem. Let's see, try on VM2. Let's see that it's trying or not. All right. Okay. How much time it's taking to deploy? Extension. Haven't applied extension. Let's see that. Extension is right now in transaction mode. It is not successful. So simply, if it doesn't work or not work, let's see that I'll just cover it at point. Since we have started that, it will show me that whether is from my IP machine is reachable or not, right? On port 22. It is successful, then it says that acknowledge that successful. If it is not successful, then it will say that failed. All right. Secondly, that if I want to do check from any specific, not from my machine, from the any other IP or all internet connection, inbound connection, I want to check it out. So I can check it out, right? If I want to check it out for other IP range, any IP range, whether it's public IP or private IP, I can check it out. All the IP range are they reachable to this machine or not. Or I want to check the service tag. Service tag is what? Like let's say that my load balancer is reachable to this this machine, or my Active Directory is reachable to this machine, anything is blocking up, or any storage account is blocking up, I want to check that connectivity. So that time I can check it out whether my machine is working or not. So let's say that I'll say this one is that 10.0.0.1.0.4. I want to check it that RDP is reachable or not from there. Let's see that it's respond or not. Which one is my 10.0.1.4? I believe it is my VM1. Either it will fail or successful. Let's see that what will respond. Yeah, 1.04. Is it reachable? Yes, connection is allowed. Can you see that, guys? The connection is allowed. Let's say that I'll say that 22, port number 22. I know that port 22, I'm not listening. This machine is a Linux Windows machine, so it's not listening. So if we try it out, so it should say that connection is allowed, but traffic will get failed. Connection is allowed if you are running, but traffic will get failed. So what exactly is checking that whether any blockage in between is there or not. So what I'll do that I'll just put one NSG here rule and I'll block the connection. I'll say that connection number 22 or from anywhere just deny. Right, this rule has been added. So all 22 connection will be denied. So let me check it again now. That IP 10.0.1.4.22. Hopefully it should shows me the deny connection checking. What it says that it's denied because of your NSG rule you have applied. Rule name is port 880, right? Then it will give a suggestion that what should you do that. So that is your connection troubleshooted, or we use this connection troubleshooted. We use a tool called network voucher extension. Network voucher extension. This is what we are using, right? We haven't applied, it is applied by the tool. Another is that the same tool which you're using there, you can check it here itself. There is a complete service as a network watcher service. The same connection monitor, what you're checking that, what was it, troubleshooting, that was the checking. But from here, you have to define the source and destination both because you are going to the in general service. So I'll say that my source is my VM2, right? This is my virtual machine VM2. And from VM2, I want to check that VM1 is reachable or not. And I'll say that IPv4 and destination port is 22. So VM2 is sending data to VM1 and we haven't done anything on NSG. So as per my thought, it should be say that okay, it's allowed, connection is allowed. I think it will be get failed because VM1 is giving a problem for network voucher. So let's try it out. If it doesn't work, we'll we'll do the vice versa from inbound connection to all the VM2. Okay, taking a time. 2 more minutes, guys. Then we'll couple of things I just want to show you it here, other and then we'll wind up. Right, I'll just check it network voucher here itself. Another point. Meanwhile, it's checking up, so I'll just show the network voucher tool here also. Let it check. Now, another thing is that we need to see the topology. What is my network looks like? How my network looks like? So I have multiple VNets. This is my subscription in the VNet. I need to choose my I have a subscription resource group and I'll choose that my VNet, this one VNet. So now it will shows me that how many virtual machine I have deployed, how many and why it's not showing, how many NIC card is there on the machine. It will show me that one. Come on. Both are not working. All right. Let it load. This will show me the topology, how my network looks like, how my same thing topology I can see it here where in the my network card, virtual network, not network card, virtual network. If I go on virtual network, any virtual network, let me take this one. I'll go here and you can find out our network diagram, right? Same symbol, topology and network diagram. I'll just click it here. I can see that it is automatically select the resource group, everything. Okay, here I have already network voucher is enabled. Choose here this one. Still loading. You can see that I have one VNet. In the VNet I have this subnet. In the subnet I have one NIC card, and this NIC card have this virtual machine attached and this NSG attached. Here also we can see that same details. The only thing is that here it shows me the two VNets, two subnets. One is that the Bastion subnet and Bastion have that two routes, different routes, which is a system defined. We cannot do anything here, or we should not do disturb here, right? Any questions, guys, here? It is pretty loading. Yeah, can you see that connection? Connection troubleshoot from 1 to 2. It says that unreachable, why it's unreachable, and it will give you justification why it is unreachable, XYZ reason. So I'm not listening on port 22, so it says that failed. Although connections is all good. There is no connection, all connection is fine. If you see here, it will show me that in diagram. Yeah, come on, come on. It shows that okay, this is your virtual machine and you're sending on this machine. It's pretty okay, but still is failed because we are not listing on 22. If it's listing on 22, it's respond properly, right? So those are the tools which we can, again, will explore it. Connection manager, how do connection manager works, how we create a connections, then network trans performance monitor, we can check it out network performance monitor also on which location, how I'm doing right now. So those are the networking topics, but still I'll just cover it quickly, right? Not today, we'll do it tomorrow. The VPN troubleshooting, checking the on-premises connectivity, that also we can do if we have VPN already deployed here. All right, guys, this is still loading. Any questions so far? All right, so we'll connect tomorrow, same time. And